Ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you all. First of all, on behalf of Mr. Nabil Boursley, who was supposed to be giving this speech today, I would like to pass his sincere apology for not attending this well-organized event in the oil and gas industry. As you are all aware that the oil and gas industry is continuously evolving, which indeed affect the global supply and demand negatively, as well as positively for the next 20 years, due to many factors such as environmental restrictions, geopolitical tensions, price volatility, capital investments, new technologies such as intrusion of other sources of energies, and so forth. This is, of course, because of one simple important reason, that hydrocarbons fuels are considered the dominant source of energy and will remain the same in the future to satisfy the world energy demand. I would like first to give a brief introduction on KPC. As you may be aware, KPC is a commercially oriented corporation and fully owned by the state of Kuwait. It has many responsibilities and obligations, part of which is meeting local market demands, as well as international market needs of hydrocarbons in terms of quantity and quality. KPC also plays a vital role in supporting the Kuwaiti economy and development. Moreover, KPC manages and operates fully integrated activities with diverse business interests across the hydrocarbons industry, from onshore, offshore, upstream exploration and production, domestic and overseas refining, local and international marketing and retailing, petrochemical, as well as marine transportation. As such, KPC owns, coordinates, and supervises various subsidiaries. To be honest, the future scene for the state of Kuwait is full with domestic and export challenges, whereas according to KPC's 2030 strategy, KPC production is expected to grow significantly in the upcoming 20 years, and KPC's supply and operational system will therefore become increasingly complex. These expected challenges have been carefully addressed during our continuous monitoring and updating of our various plans, such as strategic 5-year and mid-term plans, in order to deal optimally with the evolving oil and gas landscape, as well as to leverage our strengths, overcome our weaknesses, capture opportunities, and best deal with future threats. As an example of these challenges, the local energy demand will increase in all dimensions and sectors such as transportation, power generation, and local industries in view of the current limitations and constraints in our production and exporting facilities. Therefore, KPC had already approved many mega projects in order to meet domestic and export challenges. Examples for such projects are clean fuel project named CFP, new refinery project named NRP, permanent LNG import facility, additional LPG trains, and additional tankage capacities for crude and products. The capital investment in the next 5 years for the upstream only will be equivalent to $50 billion. As for the downstream, capital investment will be around $40 billion. In order to lay out a good ground for you to understand KPC's strategy to meet such domestic and export challenges, I will give a brief description of the expected increase in KPC's upstream and downstream production in order to secure the expected local and international demand increase. First, I will talk about Kuwait upstream production capacity, which will reach 4 million barrels per day by year 2020 and maintain the same to year 2030. This increase of crude production capacity will be accompanied by 2 more new crude types that will be added to KPC portfolio, namely heavy crude at 14 to 16 API and light crude at 45 API. In addition to our existing famous brand crude of KAC along with the other existing crudes of Khafji, Hout, Ratawi Burgan, and Eocene that will still continue to be produced. Accordingly, there will be 7 different crude types that will be in KBC's crude basket, where KBC upstream capacities will also increase as a consequence in order to fulfill local and international refineries' needs as well as export commitments. Continue speaking about the upstream production. Kuwait non-associated natural gas production will also increase to 3,000 million standard cubic feet per day in year 2030, which is subject to the development of Kuwait North Fields project over the upcoming 20 years. While we move to downstream sector, currently Kuwait total refining capacity is about 930,000 barrels per day for the 3 domestic refineries, Mina Al-Ahmadi, Mina Abdallah, and Mina Shuaibah. Therefore, it is important to mention that all of our domestic refineries were built many years ago, where it is very clear that such refineries will not be able to meet Kuwait and international market future requirements in terms of quantities, qualities, as well as flexibilities. Therefore, the question is, how will we meet the increasing domestic energy demand? To answer this question, I'll speak in more details about the upcoming expansion in KBC domestic refining capacity coming from the new refinery and clean fuel projects, as I mentioned earlier. Clean fuel project is mainly an upgrade project for the existing refineries, Mina Al-Ahmadi and Mina Abdallah, with higher capacities reaching up to 800,000 barrels per day to produce more stringent and valued products to meet future market specifications, demand, and provide KBC with a competitive edge in the international markets. The expected commissioning date of CFB is on early 2018. New refinery project, NRP, which is a grassroots refinery with a capacity of about 615,000 barrels per day, and it is expected to commission at end of 2018. This new refinery will produce environmentally friendly products to satisfy local market increasing demand, as well as for export through producing low sulfur fuel oil for power generation in Kuwait, which will reduce burning expensive products such as crude oil, gas oil, and LPG. Therefore, the refining capacity will expand up to 1.4 million barrels per day with the new superior quality of products to be produced at higher production rates, which will make KBC in line with future international market trend. Furthermore, there will be additional domestic gas processing capacities where 2 additional LPG trains will be added to KBC system with an identical capacity of approximately 950 million scf per day, which will be integrated with the existing LPG trains to accommodate the anticipated increase in the associated and non-associated gas production. Continue speaking about downstream sector. A new permanent LNG import facility is intended to be built at Azur area south of Kuwait in order for KBC to meet the energy requirement for power generation. This permanent facility will receive, store, and vaporize the imported liquefied natural gas LNG coming from cargo ships with capability of 1,500 billion BTU per day and possibility to be expanded to 3,000 billion BTU per day in order to be dispatched as natural gas to the existing gas network in Kuwait. The expected commissioning date for the new LNG import facility is around year 2020. The petrochemical sector in KBC consists of 6 plants that are well integrated together in terms of operational planning and streams exchange. In addition, there is existing synergies between the refining and petrochemical sectors in KBC through exchanging some direct streams between each other. However, Such integration is foreseen to be increased in the future due to potential opportunities that have been identified through recent studies, some of which are considered as quick hits to improve integration in addition to high potential for integration opportunities with NRP. Last but not least, I would like to give you a short glimpse of our midstream sector with regard to how KPC is managing its tonnage requirements. KPC currently owns a marine fleet of carriers ranging between MR to VLCCs to deliver its crude and petrochemical products to its different customers worldwide based on their preference. Therefore, and in parallel with the expected high production of crude, gas and petroleum products, KPC is planning to acquire 31 marine carriers including MRs, LRs, VLCCs, and VLGCs classes as per the strategic and market need. In view of what I have said earlier about the upcoming increase in KPC's production supply, I will explain briefly about KPC marketing mission, vision, and strategy and how it is being implemented to market the excess production. I would like to start first by highlighting KPC International Marketing Mission and Vision, where our mission, known as Market Kuwaiti Hydrocarbons, globally insecure and diversified markets, and maximize revenue for the state of Kuwait in the long term and in an optimum manner. While our vision is to be a world-class marketer of hydrocarbons and partner of choice for customers. In view of the aforementioned and in order for KPC to ensure implementing its strategy in a proper manner, KPC is currently adopting a new technique which applies to the Portfolio Management Office known as PMO. The PMO concept ensures that KPC's strategic initiatives are properly coordinated, monitored, integrated, and aligned in a defined scope and timing, which will therefore drive a successful implementation plan of the 2030 strategy with close monitoring by KPC CEO. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end, I would like to conclude my speech by firmly outlining that despite the foreseen challenges, KPC will manage the expansion of its production capacities and operation in an optimum manner to ensure value addition to the stakeholders through proper implementation plan as well as adopting the value chain optimization concept. Finally, I would like to thank you all for your kind attention and patience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Waleed Al-Bara. May I ask you to stay with us for a moment and give the floor the opportunity to raise questions. Now, there is a question over there on the right side, please.
Thank you. Nick Coleman from Platts. Feel forgive me, it's a rather specific question. This week we've seen a news report of a supposed agreement between KPC and Egypt to ship 2 million barrels a day of crude through the Sumed pipeline. It's not clear if this is Kuwaiti crude, which would be a huge amount, or if there's some agreement with other suppliers of crude. But could you, the report came from the Kuwaiti State News Agency, I believe, so could you possibly clarify what if any, agreement there is with Egypt involving KPC? Thank you.
Yes. If I understand your question correctly, we have an agreement with AGBC to supply crude as well as gas oil. And we are using also Sumed pipeline, but the crude contract is for EGBC. Have I answered your question?
Well, I think it can't be 2 million barrels a day, can it? Because the pipeline wouldn't allow this additional volume, would it?
That's right.
No,
so
I think what he meant...
So it's a tricky question, right?
No, he meant is 2 million cargo. 2 million cargo, yes. The cargo is 2 million. It's
Okay.
a 1 VLCC per month.
Per month, right?
Yeah.
This is,
But
here we go, right? It's a different world, yeah?
right. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. You tried it very hard, right? I mean, this is very well response. You know, it's like I'm feeling like in a tennis match. You know, it's like giving a return like this, you know? Excellent done. Another question, please. Maybe less tricky. Waleed, may I touch a sensitive issue about marketing strategy? We have seen the national oil companies in the Middle East all gearing up to have joint ventures in the home of demand in China. I have received the impression that in the last couple of months, maybe the expectations have not been fully met, to say it carefully. Yeah? Now, you don't need to be that diplomatic, so, but maybe you want to give us a bit of an idea on how you feel about it.
It's not a secret that, first of all, we have now a joint venture, a successful joint venture with in Vietnam, Petroleum and Idemitsu. We are building a refinery, 200,000 barrels per day, and we hope that by 2017 the refinery is on stream. We have been before that trying with China to have a refinery of 300,000 barrels per day. It's not a refinery, it's a petrochemical refining complex. Things did not go as planned. Still, we are trying. I think the Chinese, they moved forward with building the refinery right now. But still, we are trying our best to have an agreement with them. And this is honestly all I have got on this subject. We are trying also JVs with India. We have looked into Indonesia. We are continuing to look into JVs in the East.
So you feel it's necessary to buy into the demand?
Sorry?
You feel it's necessary to secure demand by having joint ventures? Yeah?
Yes, actually we are trying to secure or find a home for the Kuwaiti crude. This is the main objective.
Okay, well, is there a further question? If not so, then Waleed, thank you very much.